All righty. So we are live right now. It is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022, as of the time of this recording. So I got the Beats headphones in and my long-range glasses. So I got this new virtual background right here. Hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to talk a little bit of NBA free agency right here. And so for everyone that's going to be joining in, feel free to post a comment in the chat, say hello, whether you let me know whether you agree or disagree with my take that I'm giving as you're tuning in. So feel free to leave a comment in the live chat. And let's have some fun with this thing, shall we? And also, if you're joining in, drop a like, too, to show your support for the live stream. Help push it out there. Be greatly appreciated. And even for those of you that aren't watching live, if you're watching it later in the day around 4 p.m. or if it's Thursday as the time you're catching it, also drop a like. And feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below if you're not watching this live. And, let's get to it. So we shared this right here. So we got kind of a list of NBA free agencies, right? So I'm going to pull up a list of NBA free agents right here. Right now, so I'm going to pull it up on ESPN. I will share the link in the comment section. So for those of you that are watching and engaging in the chat, you can feel free, absolutely feel free to click on the link yourself if you want to see it for yourself. So I'm going to share that for you, and we're going to get started. So yesterday I came on here and I had said, look, I made a video in reaction to Kyrie deciding he was going to re-sign with the Brooklyn Nets and rejoin them for the upcoming season. Hey, don't believe the hype and don't believe all these rumors going on. So you're wondering, how am I going to talk about a free agency preview live when I made that video yesterday suggesting that you don't believe the hype? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss a little bit discuss predictions and possibilities of where certain players claim. I'm going to talk about the main players. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the main moves that happened, and that's how I'm doing it. So let's get started right to it. Okay, so here we go. So tomorrow, NBA free agency does officially start tomorrow. So we know, of course, all the rumors are going to start about this, that, and the other. I'm going to reiterate a point in my video yesterday. Everyone watching, don't believe the hype about this player joining this team. Don't believe the hype about any player or joining any team, period. Wait for a contract to be signed before we buy into it. Now, certainly there are many possibilities right here, and it's always fun to discuss the possibilities and then see how it actually plays out. Now, obviously, one thing that does look likely, though, it seems like John Wall, because now he has been waived by the Houston Rockets. It seems like he will be joining the Los Angeles Clippers next year. And it seems like it's likely still a contract has not officially been signed yet. However, there is a possibility he might go on and join the Los Angeles Clippers. So we'll have to see how that happens right there. Now, in the case of John Wall, though, he hasn't played 2 of the last 3 seasons. He did miss the 2019-2020 season with an Achilles injury. He did play 2020-2021, and he still put up good numbers. He still put up similar numbers to what he was putting up before the Achilles injury. But then he also sat out last season. So that's 2 of the last 3 seasons John Wall hasn't played. So it's possible the Clippers could be bringing him in as a rotational piece, especially being that he hasn't been active much the past 3 seasons. But that right there makes you wonder how much he's going to be able to contribute right there. Is there going to be rust with John Wall, especially if it does turn out that he does sign with the Clippers? Or is it possibly backs out at the last minute and goes elsewhere? We'll have to see right there. But John Wall's a guy. He's definitely a name, but with his inactivity over the past couple of years, it'll be interesting to see coming into 2022-2023 season whether or not John Wall's still going to be able to play at the level he's played at throughout his career. So you got that right there. Of course, other free agent names we got available. I'm looking at my screen through ESPN.com. So there's a free agency tracker right here. I'm going to pull it up right now. So here we go. I got free agency. Hold up a second. Let me make sure I get the right. Oh, okay. I get the right. Make sure I get the right link right here. So we got other free agents, but you know what? Never mind. Screw that. We'll just get right into it. So we got Kevin Durant right there. We know he's a free agent, and we know there have been the rumors, but we know they're just rumors. And remember, though, with Kevin Durant, it seems like most likely he's going to go elsewhere. He might end up either possibly they're suggesting he go to the Heat. He might go to the Sixers. But then again, remember, we thought Kyrie was going to be out and he was going to be leaving the Nets. So it's possible Kevin Durant could rejoin the Nets, even though with his personality, the fact that he has made moves numerous times in the past, doesn't seem likely that KD is going to stay. But I don't know, though. I mean, you never know, though. He could stay considering Kyrie stayed. Now, I personally, as far as those random crap about the Miami Heat, I don't see that happening because then you have Durant and Jimmy Butler on the same team. You know that's not going to work well. You know Jimmy Butler's not going to be happy with that. You know he's not going to want Kevin Durant the same thing because they'll lose some playing time. He doesn't want that right there. I know there's the rumors with the Sixers, but like I said, I'm not going to buy into that. Like I said, don't buy into the hype. Don't buy into the rumors that you hear going on there. I mean, as of right now, I mean, his options, it seems like re-sign with Brooklyn is an option, especially with Kyrie being back. It is an option. I mean, we'll ultimately have to see what happens, though. But I'm starting to think that don't be surprised if Kevin Durant does decide to re-sign with Brooklyn. Now, ultimately, we'll have to see what happens. With the Sixers, though, I mean, there could be the roster spot for him. There could be, but I don't know, though. That's going to be a tough one to pull off, though. So I'm not sure about that right there. I mean, it could happen, though, but we'll have to see right there. I mean, Kevin Durant, what are some of Kevin Durant's other options? I mean, there's not many other options out there, possibly. I mean, really, I see possibly him re-signing with the Nets. I mean, maybe the Sixers. I mean, there's not that many options out there, really, that big options I could see out there. Now, also, we got Russell Westbrook right there, which at this point in his career, after the season he had last year with the Lakers, and considering that he's always on the move. Ever since he left the Oklahoma City Thunder, Russell Westbrook's always on the move. He's always going elsewhere. I mean, I personally don't think the Lakers should bring him back. I think they should just move on from him, and whatever happens there happens. If another team, like, I don't know, if a team decides they want to bring him in to sell tickets, like, I don't know, if they say, who else? Like, say, I don't know, say the Phoenix. So, I mean, I don't really know how many good options there are for Russell Westbrook at this point. I mean, especially after the fact that he's always on the move. He's always asking to be traded. And the fact that he's a disappointing season last year with the Lakers, I don't see many viable options out there. Now, there have been reports he might be linked to the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, that is a possible option. They're looking to bring him in to add some depth to their roster and try to boost ticket sales. And so the Hornets could be an option right there for Westbrook. And I think it would be in the Lakers' best interest, like I said, to just move on from him after the year last year. I don't see him coming back next year and being an improvement for them. So you could be talking possibly the Charlotte Hornets. And outside of that, what are Russell Westbrook's real big options? I mean, kind of tough when you think about it. They don't see like there's many options for Russ at this point. Except maybe re-sign with the Lakers and the Charlotte Hornets. I can think of off the top of my head. Unless another team just wants to bring him in and hopes this boosts ticket sales. Like, I don't know, maybe the Atlanta Hawks or something. But there's nothing linking him to the Hawks. I don't see that happening. So Russell Westbrook, I don't see that many options for him right there. And I think it would be a mistake for the Lakers re-sign. For the Hornets, they could try to bring him in, but maybe he has a rebound season on the court and he plays better statistically with the Hornets, maybe. But I don't see him really doing a whole lot to help the Hornets. And I definitely don't see the Hornets becoming contenders solely off bringing Russell Westbrook in. That's my take right there on that one. Right, and you also got Carmelo Anthony. Well, we know he's at the end of his career. He's just a role player at this point. I mean, he's still a good role player. I mean, Carmelo, though, he might re-sign with the Lakers, considering he did have a solid season for them last year as a rotational piece. He might come back. Then again, he might go elsewhere. Another team might bring him on a one-year deal, offer him a lot of money, try to help boost ticket sales, maybe. I mean, maybe a team like the Clippers. I mean, I don't know. Maybe another West Coast team might try to bring him in. Maybe the Blazers might try to bring one-year deal. I mean, who knows? Maybe a team that's desperate for ticket sales at this point might be thinking about bringing him in. Who knows? It's a role player, maybe. And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I haven't followed much of the rumors because, with the rumors, a lot of it turns out to be false. That's why I don't bother paying attention to it that much. But Carmelo, I mean, I guess at this point he's open. Hey, Joey Shake 72, thank you for coming in. Shout out to Joey Shake 72. He's always uploading content on his main channel about the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out to him for coming in. Yes, and as I was saying, though, yeah, I mean, Carmelo Anthony, considering he's a role player at this point, his options are pretty much open anywhere at this point, the way I see it. I mean, who knows? I mean, he could sign with the Sixers on a one-year deal to add some depth. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't mind it myself. He is a good role player at this point. He's not a star anymore, but he's still a good role player. I mean, but then again, his options pretty much lead him to anywhere. Whether you're talking the Lakers, the Bulls, I mean, maybe the Warriors for a year, the Grizzlies. I mean, pretty much Carmelo's options can pretty much lead him anywhere that he hasn't that he is not on bad terms with. Any team's front office he's not on bad terms with, he could go to. So, I mean, that's all I can say right there about Carmelo. You got Deandre Ayton, of course, off the Phoenix Suns. I mean, we could see what happened. Hey, Coach Dante, thank you for coming in. Yes, Coach Dante. He's always uploading content. He's doing live streams. Now he's doing video game streams. Now he's talking about sports. Coach Dante's always active on here, so shout out to him for coming in. Like I said, also you got Deandre Ayton, as I was saying. He's available too. He might go to the Phoenix Suns. I mean, he could go elsewhere. He could definitely be a pickup. I mean, hell, he could be a valuable pickup for somebody, definitely. I mean, at this point, I think, though, DeAndre Ayton, considering he's fresh off a couple great years with off a Phoenix Suns team, it's off 2 good years. They're off a finals appearance last year, and they're off a run to the Western Conference semifinals off this season. I mean, he could be looking to go somewhere that could contend at this point. I'm possibly seeing maybe a team's looking to get better, like the Mavericks maybe. Maybe they could be interesting, DeAndre Ayton. Possibly you could be talking about maybe another team out west. Maybe their Blazers might want to bring some help in for Lillard since he comes back healthy. Maybe he might add some depth somewhere to the Spurs. I mean, or he could re-sign with the Suns. We'll have to see what happens, though. But DeAndre Ayton, that's going to be another big name to follow right there throughout free agency. And also, we have had some moves thus far. Now we know the Knicks and Pistons have the most cap space available to spend, so they definitely could have the potential to improve. Now, in the case of the New York Knicks, we've been down this road many times before. They tried last year to bring in Kemba Walker to help improve their team after that playoff run in 2020, 2021. And how did that work out for the Knicks bringing in Kemba Walker? Oh, yeah, that's right. They just recently traded him to the Detroit Pistons. And the Pistons also, in exchange, got the draft rights to Jalen Durant, who was drafted originally by the Charlotte Hornets. So now the Detroit Pistons, they could have an opportunity at getting better. I mean, although Kemba Walker, though, he's off a disappointing season with the Knicks, which proved to be a terrible signing for them, thus why they traded him. So, I mean, that doesn't look too promising based off where he currently stands. He is in Kemba Walker. But now you're talking about Jalen Durant, Cade Cunningham, you got Isaiah Stewart, and they got some cap space to spend. The Pistons could be looking to get better and at least get to the play-in if they play their cards right during free agency. Possibly. Now, we'll have to see if that actually happens, though. But considering how screwed up the Detroit Pistons front office has been for the past decade plus, especially since the early 2010s, I don't know if that's going to happen, but there is a possibility the Pistons could get better there. We'll have to see right there. And we also know the Houston Rockets, they did draft Jabari Smith right there, so they're hoping that that'll help them improve. But the Rockets, they still have a long way to go right there. And they're not doing much to attract any notable players. And like I said, John Wall, they recently cleared room for him to possibly sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. So we know John Wall is not going to be there. The Houston Rockets, though, I mean, even if they do make a move or two in free agency, it still looks like it's going to be a long road to recovery for the Rockets. Yeah, let me make sure I pronounce it right. Paolo Banchero was drafted by the Orlando Magic. Now, if he pans out, that'll be a start in the right direction for them rebuilding. But the Orlando Magic, they still have a long way for them to go. And I don't know if they're going to really be able to get any marquee free agents right now. And speaking of that, just occurred to my mind now, we know Jalen Brunson, he's a marquee free agent. We know he's a productive offensive player. He was with the Dallas Mavericks. Now he's a free agent. It seems like it's likely that he might sign with the New York Knicks tomorrow, but time will tell if that happens. Now, if the Knicks do bring in Jalen Brunson, though, here's the thing. I mean, the Knicks, look, they brought in a bunch of guys. They have used the New York City market to sign guys before. Because they're in the New York City market, they had the leverage to afford to sign guys, and they have done that before. But a lot of times, it doesn't really work out that well in the Knicks' favor. I mean, you see Kemba Walker is a recent example. I mean, you saw Bember go back to 2019. Yeah, 2019. We thought Kyrie and KD could possibly join the Knicks, and neither of them joined the Knicks. They both went to the Nets. So based on the Knicks' history, what tells you that they're going to be able to pull off a big move based off recent history that works out in their favor? I mean, Jalen Brunson could potentially be an upgrade if they sign him, but will it be if they do sign? And even if they do sign him, here's the question: will it be another Kemba Walker situation, or will Jalen Brunson not sign with them? Will he go elsewhere? Will he re-sign with the Mavericks? Will he go elsewhere? I mean, who knows what could happen right there? I mean, okay, and I do have the list of free agents available right now. So, all right, so I'm going to pull it up. Let's see. Who else do we got? We got DJ Augustine. He's veteran at this point. He's with the Lakers last season. I don't know where's he going to go right there? DeAndre, but he's near the end of his career, DJ Augustine. He's just a role player at this point. I mean, he'll probably get signed somewhere, possibly, especially for a team that's looking to add depth piece to their roster. I mean, you know, maybe the Pelicans could be an option. Maybe the Nuggets could be an option. Who knows? I mean, I haven't really been. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. So we got Marvin Bagley III. I mean, the Pistons. I mean, Marvin Bagley III, if he's available and he's an option for the Sixers, that'd be a nice option right there. Plus, being that he's still young, so I would like to see that. But I don't know. I doubt that's going to happen, though. I don't see it happening, though. I mean, it would be nice if the Sixers could get him, but I just don't see it happening, though. Marvin Bagley III, that's going to be another interesting one to check out right there. Will he re-sign with the Pistons? I mean, will he go elsewhere? I mean, some of you guys have been following the rumors. I'm sure you're probably going along with what you're seeing in the rumors. But like I said, I'm not following along with them because a lot of times they don't turn out to be true. So not really following along with the rumors to see where they're going because a lot of it could turn out to be false. And who knows? They could either re-sign or they could go sign somewhere else out the blue, like Kawhi Leonard, when he was being linked to either re-signing the Raptors or the Lakers, and then all of a sudden the Clippers signed him out the blue back in 2019. So, I mean, point being is sometimes the rumors turn out to be completely false, and people that follow get blindsided when that player ends up making a decision where they're going to sign. So I haven't really been following. That's why I'm not following along with the rumors right there. But Marvin Bagley, I mean, who knows where he could go? I mean, who knows? Maybe he resigns, maybe he goes elsewhere, but he'll definitely be a valuable. He could be a valuable pickup to whoever gets him, whether it be another East Coast team looking to add some pieces, like maybe the Sixers, maybe the Nets may be looking to add him. Who else? Could be. I mean, maybe the Cavs might be looking. I mean, who knows? There's a lot of different options out there, possibly. But we'll have to see what happens, though. I mean, I don't know who Bagley's talked to or who he's likely to sign with, but we'll have to see what happens there. But that's going to be an interesting one right there. Marvin Bagley, Bradley Beal. I mean, there is some hints. Wizards after all. We'll have to see. I mean, I've suggested Bradley Beal might come to the Sixers. I mean, I would like for that to happen, but who knows? We'll see what happens right there. I mean, Bradley Beal, he could be possibly an early one that goes in free agency. Whether he does, whether the Wizards choose to match other teams to re-sign me, choose to stay for the financial security, or whether he chooses to go elsewhere, we'll have to see what happens with Bradley Beal. That's going to be another big one right there. So you got some of the main big names in this one. You got Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. Of course, you got Marvin Bagley. Who else? You got DeAndre Ayton is another one. So these are some of the bigger names in this list right there. Of course. But who else? You got Michael Carter-Williams. At this point, he really feels irrelevant at this point. I not that interested in Michael Carter Williams at this point. I know, former Rookie of the Year, former Sixers, all that, but he doesn't really stand out to me as a big name in this class. Nick Batum, I mean, he's a solid role player. He returned to form of being a role player for the Clippers after his years with the Hornets, where it was a complete disappointment when he was getting starter money. But Nick Batum at this point, he's not one of the main guys I'm looking to see where he's going to go right here. But he's still out there. I mean, then again, there is still the possibility some trades could go through right here. We'll have to see what happens right there. But I think, see, because the Knicks and Pistons, they had the highest cap space. I mean, especially with the Pistons, I mean, they started to land a couple players. They got Cade Cunningham. Now, Jalen Durant, they pulled the trade off for him. And they do have Kemba Walker, who it does have a name, despite being on the downside of his career going into this upcoming 2022-2023 season. And the Pistons could have some room to add some depth pieces and possibly improve for next year. We'll have to see. I mean, the Knicks, well, we know at the Knicks, there's always the potential that they could improve, but we know it rarely happens. We know that the New York Knicks, they rarely actually do it. They rarely improve. There's always the potential for them to sign big name and help improve, but we know that rarely happens. So as of right now, it's just all hype at this point right now. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with some of these guys right there. We'll have to see, so the main names paying attention to John Wall. Will he pull off the move to resign? Kevin Durant, will he resign and pull a surprise just like Kyrie did? Will he leave and go elsewhere? Or possibly, and you got Bradley Beal. What will Bradley Beal do? Where is he going to go in this whole ordeal? Is he going to resign and surprise everyone? Is he going to actually make the jump? Could he make the jump and come to my team, the Sixers, which I would love to see? Is he going to possibly make the move elsewhere and pull a complete surprise? We're going to have to see what happens right there. That's going to be interesting right there. So those are the main three names. Them, and of course, Jalen Brunson. There's another name. So those are the main four names I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this NBA free agency. But ultimately, we're going to have to see what happens right here. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that are going around, like I keep referring to, but ultimately, once the free agency period starts and we start seeing the reports and the signings start getting made, ultimately, it's going to prove right there that ultimately, hey, it's BS. I mean, there have been ultimately some that are going to be proven to be BS. I mean, we have had some transactions made. So I'm going to go through a list. Then I got them on NBA.com transactions going back to June 23rd. I'll put the link to that in the live chat so you guys can follow along if you want to. So if anyone is just tuning in, I'm going to be going through the transactions real quickly. So here's the transactions from June 23rd. I'm reading them off my screen. I have my screen on NBA.com. So we got the Oklahoma City Thunder received draft consideration from the Nuggets. Nuggets received draft consideration from the Thunder. The Thunder received JaMychal Green from the Nuggets. That was on June 23rd. And also then on Friday, we also had the Sixers and Grizzlies pulled off the trade officially. You got, D'Anthony Melton went from the Grizzlies to the Sixers. The Grizzlies received Danny Green. I mean, we talked about that, right? I talked about that right there. I made a video right there. I gave my approval of that trade right there. The Houston Rockets received Trey Burke from the Mavericks, and they also received Boban Marjanovic from the Mavericks, and then the Rockets received Marquise Chris and Sterling Brown, all from the Mavericks, while the Mavericks took Christian Wood from the Rockets right there. So the Mavericks, they're high on Christian Wood right there, and they gave a bunch of pieces to get him right there. All right, Mavs, you took a big gamble now. We'll have to see if it pays off for you. So ball's in your court now, Cuban. Let's see if it pays off. And then Tuesday, John Wall was officially waived. And also yesterday, the Clippers re-signed Ivica Zubac to a veteran extension. And it looks like John Wall might be joining them. We'll have to see right there. So those are some of the main moves that have happened thus far. And we know there's going to be more moves to come. NBA free agency time. So I'll be keeping an eye out right here. And I will be coming at you with another live stream right there. where I'm going to be giving you my thoughts once the signings come in, possibly sometime Friday, maybe Saturday afternoon around the same time, 12 p.m. I'll be doing a live stream there, giving my thoughts on that right there. I'll be using the same background right there, where actually I'll be giving my thoughts on some of the moves that they made, whether they were good or bad. So that's what's going to be in the coming days ahead. So it's really all I got to say for this stream right there. So to everyone that tuned in this stream, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for commenting in the live chat. And for those of you that watch that even on replay, thank you for watching. And if you've made it this far and you haven't done so already, drop a like to help out the algorithm. If you're new and you haven't done so, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video so you don't miss out. Feel free, those of you that aren't watching live, you feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you expect to happen. Let me know if there's anything you agree or disagree with what I said. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Most of all, have a wonderful day or night. Nicky Steez signing off, and I'll see you for my next vid.